Welcome to the podcast.
Hello? Is this thing on? We're out to lunch. Hey, welcome to Out to Lunch.
We're so happy you're back and listening again. It's been a whole week.
Honestly, this week has been a journey for
Yeah.
both of us individually.
A trek and a half,
I
if you
feel
will.
like I've been everywhere and nowhere all at once, and both were not great.
I feel like I'm just happy it's over.
Yeah, it's a new week.
And I feel very refreshed. Like, I feel like the last time I saw you, which I think was 4 days ago, I'm like leaps and bounds.
A completely different person.
Yeah. I've grown and
We might have to change our names, actually, now that I'm thinking about
I don't
it.
even know my name. Okay, so I know that we talked about friendships last time, but I just went to Tahoe yesterday with like some of our like friends that we've been friends with for a while, but Bradley brought coworkers that I hadn't really met before, and
Which is funny that we just talked about coworkers and like new friends.
Yeah,
and then that happened.
we got to hang out with them, and on the way home it was so funny. They were like, your guys' friends are cool. And I was like, thank you. Like, I don't know why that's a compliment, but it really
It
is.
is.
Like, thank you. And they're like, it was just like, we just like went and we had fun, and then we got to leave, and like that was it. And I'm like, yeah.
Like, yeah, we just had a good day.
And then we got into a whole conversation with them about like cutting friendships and how hard it is, and how like just it was literally like we had just talked about it, and it was
Yeah.
so interesting because I was like, this was just fun. It was fun, and there was nothing more. It was
Nothing
just-
happened. It was
no.
just a fun time.
It was just fun, and I was like, I like new friends.
Well, and for them to recognize that, because like I think that our friends are fun, you know, but for other people to be like, you guys have cool friends, I'm like, thank you.
I'm like, thanks.
I picked them.
That is intentional.
Yeah.
Very intentional.
I think it's also funny too that like we have had a lot of fun times, but I think as we talked about on the last episode, also we've also had some like times where we're like, well, this was supposed to be a good time, and like it got ruined. So it's funny, but also kind of sad. But I think important that we can recognize like, wow, today was just
Chill.
chill,
and
and no
fun.
one freaked out, and no one lost control of themselves. Nothing bad happened. Like, we just went to Tahoe and had one of the best days ever, and
then went home.
We went home, and everything's good and everything's fun. Like, I love that feeling when you just get home and you're like,
That was
today
fun.
was good.
Yeah. Well, because there's nothing worse than like going somewhere and then getting back and being like, I wish I just had not gone.
I wish I did not
I-
go.
I wish that was not a part of my my day.
Or you're in the moment and you're just like,
Why
shouldn't
am
have
I
come
here?
I shouldn't have come here.
Yeah.
It's always a very humbling feeling when you're like, well, this sucks.
This is not
Then
what I
I'm
want to be
stuck.
spending my time doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That was interesting. And then I was sad you weren't there.
I was,
That
let
was
me
my
tell
next
you,
moment.
I had to work at 7:30. You guys were all meeting here at 7:30, and I was driving to the yoga studio just, all of my friends are going to my favorite place
Like,
for the
this-
first time this season. And like, you guys went to Sand Harbor too, right?
Yeah.
My favorite beach at the lake. Like, I just had an eye twitch all day, and every time someone said one thing to me, I was just like, what? I'll scream. Don't make me scream. I will. No, I was just sitting looking out the front desk at the blue sky, and I'm like, I hope they're having fun. I hope they get sand in their drinks, but I hope they're having fun. I'm just kidding. I'm happy that you had a good day, though.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But I'm sorry you're at work.
It's okay. Actually, this wraps full. The whole reason, and I've talked about it multiple times, the whole reason I got this job was to help pay things off, and I paid off my Jeep yesterday.
Which is super exciting.
I went to CarMax and paid it off, and the ladies in the office were clapping for me. They're like, that's so cool. And all started clapping, and I was like, Thank you.
Like that's how I feel about it.
So
but
nice.
I'm really happy that you're like
these random strangers are so excited.
Like you're so happy for me. This is great.
I was like, wow, I'm happy. I was just gonna make the payment online, but I wanted to go there and just like make sure everything was good. I got in the car and I was really happy that I went to do it in person.
Well, noted.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
When you do that.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a funny thing that I saw. I want to make sure that those. Yeah, I saw a funny thing that I was just like, what? And it was a shirt that said, "I have rabies." And for some reason, I wanted it.
You're like, that's
I just
hilarious.
wanted it, and I thought that you would think it's funny because it's like the biggest, just like stay away from me, but in like the most
weirdest
random way.
There are some shirts out there
that are.
Also, who came up with that?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of funny stuff that's like repeated through stuff. I've never seen anything say I have rabies on it. I'm telling you, I looked at it and I was like, I want it. I'm not gonna buy it because I'm not gonna wear that, but like I kind of want it.
Where were you?
Where was I?
Were you thrifting?
No, I was at the mall.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to remember.
That's almost worse.
I know. I know.
Oh, that's funny though.
I had to tell you that.
No, that's.
But kind of actually going off of like trends and like people wearing stuff and whatever, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about people who wear pimple patches in public? I'm okay with pimple patches, and I think the clear ones you can honestly get away with, and sometimes people are wearing them and I can't even see them. But I'm talking about like the rainbow stars or like just the patterned shaped ones, and people are just walking around with them on.
So I have a lot of thoughts.
I've been so excited to ask you this.
Let me start off by saying I've never used a pimple patch.
I think I've used one, and I wore it overnight and took it off, and then I was like, I don't even know if that really did anything.
Yeah, I've never put one on my face, so I don't know anything about it. Yeah. I don't know what they do. I imagine it like keeps bacteria out.
I think it does that, and also like supposedly sucks stuff out of it.
I have found personally with my face that the less I do to it, the better off
happier
it is.
My skin is.
Don't touch it. Don't put anything on it.
Yeah.
Don't you wash it, and that's it.
Leave her alone.
And wash it with like take your makeup off and then wash it with soap. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how my face
stays
the best. So I haven't used one. And then I think it was last year during the school year at one point, I was noticing that it was like a thing. And I was like, okay, one, if I have a pimple on my face, the last thing I want to do is draw attention to the fact that I have a pimple on my face.
Well, it's already like, I don't want you to see a big red bump on my face.
So let's just slap a sticker on it.
Rainbow fucking unicorn on there. Like, I just don't get it.
I think they're really ugly, and I don't think they should be used in public. I think put it on before you go to bed and take it off. And if you still have a pimple, then I'm so sorry. Maybe don't wear makeup that day. Yeah. I don't know. But I don't want to. Why are you wearing a star on your face? You're drawing attention to the fact that you have a pimple. Also, just because you covered it up, now you have a star in your face,
and it's more obvious
that you have a pimple.
That it's like, well, now I know that you have a pimple because you have a pimple patch on your face.
But I feel like it became like a trending thing.
It did,
where people were like, "Oh,
I've seen people
got like 4 stars on their face."
I have seen people at their job. Like, I'll be like buying food, and the person ringing me up, and I'm like, you're at work and you're wearing that at work?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have students in my class that do it in 2nd grade.
Well, and it's like, I guess if anyone's going to do it, I feel like it should be them because they're in 2nd grade. But even that is
also,
like
2nd graders don't have pimples.
No,
you don't even have acne at that point.
No. Like you're just, like you said, you're just wearing a sticker.
You want to know where I feel like it makes sense? Go for it. Fucking middle school. They're already weird. You're already weird.
You're already a weirdo.
Put a star sticker on your face. I don't care. You have pimples all over your face. Go for
you
it.
Have blue eyeshadow
but if
on.
You're like a
you
grown
can
ass adult and you're walking around in public with fucking pimple patches. I don't understand.
I knew that you were gonna get fired up.
I don't. You know what? Again, do what you want to do. I'm not mad at you for it.
No.
It doesn't affect me in any way. I just don't really get why you would want to draw attention to the fact that you have a pimple.
And I'm not gonna do it.
I will not do that.
I will not do it. No. I would rather you just see the pimple.
Yeah.
Like I have zit. So does mostly everyone. So
I don't know.
Sorry.
I also, can you do you put makeup over them? Like, do people do that?
Yes, I believe you can put on that's why I think the clear ones, honestly, I've seen like someone taking it off and I didn't even know that they had it on because it
or if
goes
it's clear
so well.
and then you put your
foundation
but
over
obviously
it.
if it's clear you don't want people to know that you're wearing one. That's the same vibe as what we're saying.
Also, I feel like if you do have a clear one, putting makeup over it is going to make it look, then you're just going to have a little outline of a circle. So I would rather you
just don't wear
makeup.
I don't know.
Or also do they work? I think someone is stealing your money.
Yeah, I don't.
If it makes you feel better than spend your money on it, but I'm not convinced that they help that much.
I'm not convinced most of the things that are sold oftentimes are helpful.
Or good
I also
for you.
don't have super flawless skin or I'm not the person to ask.
If I don't
know.
I get a lot of acne around my time of the month. I think my main problem is that my face, especially around my nose, it's dry year round. And I don't know. I tried different lotions. I tried scraping my skin. It's just dry. It's just dry all the time. Do they have any patches for that? That's my concern.
I don't know. I think it's somebody was like, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
We should make these. And then people started using them and then they're like, we should make them obnoxious with fucking ugly pictures and bright ass colors. And then, like I said, I think it became a thing that was trending that people would just have them on.
Well, the whole reason that I've seen them a lot, but I was at work and I saw a girl that had a black star underneath her eye. And at first I was like, did she draw that on? And then I was like, maybe it's a tattoo. And then the closer I got, she had more on the other side of her face. And I was like, it's a fucking pimple patch.
Yeah.
What is the deal? I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
I won't.
I don't think.
I had another thing to ask you. Oh, are you done? Are we done with that topic?
I think we're good. I think we've made our
point.
We made our point.
We've angered people. I wanted to ask you this because Bradley is the sports human of the world. And I was thinking of different team names and how some of them are like the Browns. What? Their mascot is a helmet. I don't, I just recently learned that the New York Knicks, the Knicks is short for knickerbockers, pants. And I was like, there's no way that's real. There's no way.
And then you looked it up.
I looked it up and that shit's real. I said,
Are you for real?
I'm for real. And I wanted to ask you if you knew that. And maybe I just didn't know that. But I was like, if anyone knows this, it's going to be Bradley, which means that Abby might already know about it.
No.
So I had to ask you.
No. Sometimes this happens every once in a while. Probably once a season. I'll have Bradley quiz me because it's my favorite game. Mostly because he's always like, oh. And I'm like, okay, you have to give me the team name and I have to tell you the mascot. So he'll say the name of the team and then I have to give it to him. And sometimes I do okay. But there's a lot that I know because I've heard them. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I even like the Browns. I don't know. Like, it's not like their mascot is a helmet, but their logo is a fucking helmet. And I'm like, so what are you? Like, what are you?
I don't know.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. No. Well, what team changed their mascot a few years ago?
Is it
Washington?
Yeah, it was the Indians, right? Or what was it?
No.
Something along the lines of that. It was offensive, and then they changed it to the Redskins. Yes,
Redskins, and then they changed it to make it more
inclusive and
yes. But now they're the Commanders, and I was like, you had literally
you could have chosen anything
in the
not
world. In the world. Some are taken clearly, but like you picked anything. Commanders. Like, of all, like, there's some really cool things out there that you could have been.
And you picked the Commanders.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I don't know.
I feel bad, too, for, like some of them are, like, these big, like, strong animals. And then some are just, like, the Badgers.
The Knicks. That is...
Dude, and in my head, I don't know what I thought the Knicks was, but I just know that, like, if you live in New York, like, there's, like, you love the fucking Knicks, you know? Like, that's... And so then I found out that they were pants. I was like, you're suddenly so much, like... I don't understand. You're not as cool as I thought that you were. The Knickerbockers. You're lying to my face.
Who picked that and why?
They picked it. I'll tell you right now. It's because of the people who came to New York and they were wearing pants, basically.
Really?
But let me read it to you. New York Knickerbockers, now known as the Knicks, got their name from Dutch settlers of New York, and they wore pants.
Didn't everybody?
I thought maybe everybody else has just been pantsless this whole time.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Great choice. I think they're really doing something there. Also,
after Father Knickerbocker,
at this point, like, they're not gonna change
they
it.
They can't. They literally can't.
No.
That's like the thing, you know?
Yeah, but no, I had no idea. I'm sure there's lots of sports teams that I don't no clue. Also, college teams are worse. There's so many of them, and they're the most random
thing. That's like the
things.
I don't know what school it is, but I think it's in Wisconsin. Hannah Burner always talks about it, and she always says "Go Badgers," and I'm like, can you imagine your mascot's a badger? And you're playing the fucking, like, Bears? Like, that just sucks for you.
Yeah. Not super great.
What was your high school mascot?
A Spartan.
I feel like that's a good one.
I loved. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, it was Spartans and Indians, which the two rival schools, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I was a Mustang. My rival was the Grizzly Bear.
You're like, wonder who's winning that one.
It was kind of cool because wild Mustangs would just be on our front lawn.
Yeah, that
eating
is cool.
grass and, like, chilling, and I just like what it was weird to walk outside and be like, there's a fucking horse just hanging out right on there. Campus.
All right, cool.
That's crazy. Actually, I was gonna ask you if your school did, like, superlatives, or if you had, like, a most likely to become a dentist, or, like, whatever, like your senior year.
Yes, and it was in our yearbook.
Did you get one?
Yep.
What was it? I got one too. And mine sucks. Mine sucks real bad.
Mine is so on brand, it's kind of sad. You want to know what it was?
I do.
Most likely to cry at graduation.
I cried at mine still.
So did I. It's like really? Like, I could have been voted for anything. It was most likely
And
to
that's
cry
what
at
I-
graduation. Yeah, I was.
Mine was most likely to own a library.
Also, on brand.
I have a library in my room.
Oh, that's funny.
I know.
Oh, do you remember your senior quote?
Dude, I was going to ask you this too. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know that it was a Mickey Mouse quote, and it was something along the lines of like, live your dreams and follow your path, and
Yada, yada, yada.
next to someone who's like, I can't wait to get out of this place. You know? And I'm like, I really went for the inspirational, like.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
What was yours?
So Hindu, my teacher,
The piece and the person who
that
did your wedding.
officiated our
Yeah.
wedding, yeah, he used to say this to me all the time because I apparently have had anxiety since forever, or just stress about quite literally everything. And his thing that he used to say to me is, "It's gonna happen whether you freak out or not." And that was like, he said that to me all the time.
And
Which
valid.
True. It's going to happen. Things are gonna happen whether you freak out or not. So either you can freak out,
And it's still gonna happen.
or you can just take a deep breath and like deal with it. It was kind of like the whole thing. So that was, I quoted him for my quote.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
It's also still like,
that works literally today.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself still to this day
Like,
sometimes
hey,
that you don't have to freak
Maybe
out.
don't freak out.
There's no reason to freak out. It's going to happen. So calm down. Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought up the crying at graduation thing, because I was just having a rewind. I don't know if you saw what happened at Reno High School, but their senior prank, they like destroyed the school, like broke windows, graffitied the N-word and swastikas, and like all like broke TVs, like destroyed the school. And then I was talking about how like they better hope that they don't get caught, because then they're not going to be able to walk at graduation, and like walking graduation was super important to me. In the conversation I was having, he was like, I didn't really care about that. And I was like, I was crying at my graduation. I cried my senior night of cheer too, walking down the basketball court. They like announced each of us and whatever, and I was literally standing with my family crying in the middle of the court, because I don't know, it was just like a weird, I feel like I'm a milestone appreciator.
I also think, for me personally, I was so invested in school, and like so invested in student council, and like that was my everything. Like I cared so much about all of it. It was to the point where I did the same thing when I went to college. like was just like dove headfirst into like
all
being a part of school and all this stuff. So I think I was just like really connected to it in that way, where other people could give a fuck less,
and like ready to get the fuck out.
like they didn't.
And I was
care
like,
at
we're
all.
never gonna see any of you again.
I also
and,
like I knew I was gonna graduate. I don't even think it was like the graduating milestone. It was the like end of a chapter for me.
Yeah,
that
I'm
made
not.
it so hard.
I'm not good with ends
Yes.
of things.
Yes. And that also brings me to my main frustration, is the fact that the milestone that was like a true milestone, we didn't even get to do.
What?
Graduate during
college.
Yeah. For
no,
college.
we fully didn't get to do that.
Yeah.
No, we
That's still to this day, I'm like,
Irks
I know it doesn't
me.
really matter,
But it matters.
but it does matter.
It
It's
matters
my college
because
degree, and I didn't get to walk.
I wanted.
Fucking COVID.
Also,
So dumb.
I wanted to graduate with all of my friends, and I was a little bit behind. So my senior year, I took 21 credits both semesters so that I could graduate on time. And then our graduation was a PowerPoint presentation.
Which in the moment was kind of funny until it wasn't really
Until it
funny.
wasn't.
I was really sad when we found out, and then we kind of made a joke about it.
Because we had
and then
to.
Literally the next semester, I watched people walk that I knew, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is so... Like,
I was also
wasn't
sad
a
because
part
I
of it.
think that I was upset about not being able to, that I didn't opt in to graduating to walking
they
the
asked
next
you if you wanted to, and
and
said
I was
no.
like, no, I'm just gonna be done. And then I watched people that technically graduated with us walk then, and I was like,
I should have done
why
that.
did I not do that?
I know, same. I just kind of thought
myself.
like I just kind of thought like at this point I'm done.
I'm just
That's
gonna be
6 months later. Like I've already done it.
Yeah.
But no, I felt the same way.
Pissed that I
kind of regretted not doing that. I don't think it really would have made a difference.
No.
But I had the same
But I was
thought.
angry.
Yeah.
I think we had to make it funny, because otherwise it was like really upsetting.
Yeah.
The memes that came out of that though were like hilarious. I saw like the first one I saw was someone taking a picture with their mailman, and it was like, this person's delivering my my degree to me via mail, and I was like, that sucks so bad, but it's kind of funny that we like have to make a joke out of all of this.
Yeah, we did get like a nice little package with all of our stuff though.
We did,
like, I think like extra things. And like, thanks. I really wanted that alumni bumper sticker. That's not
fucking
on my
bumper
car.
stickers.
Anyways,
I waited so long to get this new Jeep to put like a cute Nevada sticker on it, and as soon as I got it, I was like, I'm not putting a bumper sticker on my car. Are you kidding me? Anywho, that's that on that.
The other day, I was so mad about this. I was having a conversation with a friend, and in that conversation, something was said to me, and I didn't hear it. I just didn't hear it. You know how sometimes you just don't hear people when they're talking? Yeah. And I said, oh, yeah. And then I was asked like a follow-up question, and I said, honestly, I don't know what you said.
I didn't
like,
catch that.
I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what you said. And I got so you lied to me? And I was like, oh my gosh. Didn't lie. I just didn't hear you and thought that was like the end of our thing and we were going to move on. And then you asked me a question, and then I told you that I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
He's like, but you pretended like you did the first time, so you're a liar. And I was like, no.
I just didn't
think it was that important. And now don't call me a liar. I didn't lie because I didn't lie. I just was like, people do that.
Yeah.
Also, don't tell me you've never done that to me. Like, I don't want to hear it. Anyways.
Like, I know that you don't listen to everything that I say.
And it pissed me off. And I got onto I was spinning in my head, thinking about all the times that I feel like I do lie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the times when I feel like I wouldn't consider that a lie.
No, I don't.
But some people obviously
do.
Might. And I think there's just like different levels of
lying. Yeah.
And I know that it's technically wrong in all ways, but I feel like lying is very healthy, and that might be it is. I think it's a healthy thing to a degree.
Well, because here's the thing. Like, there are some lies where it's like that could really fuck some shit up, and like, you shouldn't do that. There's also some stuff where it's kind of just like, this just needs to stop. Like, go away.
Yeah.
Also, is this gonna like be a really big issue? Then probably tell the truth. Or like, but if they find out the truth, is it gonna have a good, like, is it gonna help them?
Yes. Well, I think we should start with white lies.
Those happen all the time.
Also, everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear.
But you don't.
I don't want to hear that you don't, because you're lying. You're lying. That you don't lie.
Yeah.
Everybody lies.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's just some things that, like, I feel like, and maybe this is me justifying it for myself in a bad way, but in my brain, there are things that I will lie about because I don't want to be a bitch. I might really fucking hate your shirt, and you might ask me if I like it, and I might say yes, and I'm full-blown lying.
Well,
but also,
because-
why would I be rude to you for no reason?
Why would I tell you that I don't like it? What is that going to do? You already have it on. So obviously you like it.
And you're asking me probably because you're worried that people don't like it. So I'm not going to then, I don't know.
I'm not going to double down.
I think there's certain people that I'd be like, yeah, no, dude.
I don't like it.
But for the most part, it's like,
it's not a harmful.
It's just easier for me to not be honest in that moment. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's wrong. I think that helps people. I think it keeps, I know that there are lots of people that would disagree.
I just don't, like you said, I don't understand. I don't see a reason to be rude.
Yes.
And like you said, there are people where I'd be like, honestly, not really my flavor, but like you like, I like that you like it.
So if you like it, then.
Or there's people who you know that if you don't lie, they're going to freak out, or like it's going to cause a fight, or like it's going to be an issue. So then you're like, yeah, I do like it.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather lie to you about your shirt than get in a fight with you about how I think your shirt's ugly.
I don't know. I think there are some people that this goes into a whole other topic that we can talk about after this. But I think there's a whole other aspect of this where people pride themselves on being honest and I'll tell you straight to your face and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And it's just their way of like
justifying being a dick.
that they're assholes. Yeah. And that's a whole other thing. But
well,
I don't lie. I never lied to you. Yeah. No, you didn't. You were really fucking rude, actually. Please lie to me.
Lie.
Just pretend.
Or don't say anything.
Shut up.
I've known multiple people like that. There's one specifically coming to my mind where I was just like, just because you don't lie doesn't mean you're a good person.
Like, you're not making anybody feel better.
No.
By being brutally
honest.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's needed, but not like unconditionally all the time, no matter what. Like, like you're just like being rude.
You're being rude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. White lies, I feel like it's like everybody does it, and it's usually for the benefit of
everything.
Yeah. It just keeps things running smoothly, you know? But then there's also like not
white lies.
Those kinds of lies, like the big ones, you know, that I feel like
they go out of your mouth and you're like, that's gonna be.
Or I feel like they always start as a white lie in your brain
and then slowly
you
grow.
Think that you were just, you know, dealing with it in the moment. Like, it's kind of like putting a little Band-Aid on it and calling it
and then you
day.
think it's gonna go away.
And then when it comes back up later and you're like, what did I say?
Well, then you're like, okay, I can either tell them I was lying or I have to double down
on the lie
and then it becomes a bigger lie.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps happening to the point where you're just lying. You're just lying
through your teeth.
A whole bunch and a lot and a like big one.
Builds and builds and builds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like, well, actually, this is a good question. One, have you ever been caught in like a big lie?
I'm sure I have. I don't. Let me think. I'm sure that I have. Have you been caught in a big lie?
I think if I'm caught in a big lie, I just admit it. I'm never a double down person, mostly because
if it's a big one,
if I have lied to you, I was doing it out of, let's just like try and get through this. I'm not gonna like, I'm just gonna
not worry about it.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then when it becomes a big deal, I'm like, okay, I just need to say it. I think I feel like I literally get sick. Like it makes me
makes you physically ill.
Feel like I'm gonna lose my mind. I also can't look at, like, if somebody asks me a direct question, I'm gonna tell you. I don't think I can look at someone, like, I'm not good at lying.
Well, we've talked about that you're not good at lying.
So it's like, if you don't want to know something, just don't ask me, maybe. And if you do, you can ask.
So I'm going to tell you.
I can't guarantee that you're going to like what I have to say.
Yeah.
But especially for like big, important things. So no, I don't feel like or if I have, yes, I've been caught in lies, but typically in that moment, we just have a conversation about how, yeah, that's what happened. And
I'm sorry that I lied to you.
And also I feel like I'm more of a withholder of information than a liar.
Like I just didn't tell you, which a lot of people view as a lie.
Lying. Do you view that as a lie?
I think it depends on what it is. If it's like something that you think I should know, like, and it's like super super important. I actually no. I still don't think I would be like, you lied to me. I would just be like, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
I don't view withholding the truth as lying.
No, I don't think that I do either.
That is, again, another thing that people do to protect people.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how I feel like I choose to use it.
I don't. If I
haven't
lying.
said it, it's probably because I don't think it would benefit anybody if I did. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm lying. And if you ask, I'll tell you.
That's what if you asked me,
I'll tell you.
Then I'll tell you. And if I don't tell you, then I'm lying.
Yes. But in my brain, it's not lying until you've asked me and I've looked you straight in the face and said that didn't happen, or that wasn't true, or he didn't say that, or whatever the fuck it is that you're lying about.
I think a lot of people actually view that as lying, and now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't.
No.
Because my response would never be, you lied to me. It would be like, why didn't you not fucking tell me?
Yeah. And my response would be because I didn't want it to be upsetting, or it wasn't my place.
That's the other thing.
It's like, okay, if I'm with
this person should know this, but it's not my information to share.
Yeah. Which at that point, it's like, it's not on me.
Mm-hmm.
Not on me. Yeah.
That makes me spooky.
I know. But I know. I don't.
Going to the being caught in a lie, have you ever caught someone in a lie?
Yes.
Like a big one?
No. They're always stupid.
That's why funnier, because it's like, why are you lying about that? That's not, like, I don't care about that at all. But now I care that you lied to me.
And like, what are you trying to prove?
I'm trying to think of some.
I get for somebody when I've watched other people catch I've been in a situation sitting there listening to people go back and forth
and watch
somebody catch somebody else in a lie, and I'm just sitting there like this.
I'm just like, I'm so happy that's not me. I'm so
like
happy.
That is so sad, and I'm not gonna say anything because they already feel really bad, but watching them backpedal, that's another thing. Just say, if somebody catches you in a lie, just admit that you lied.
Just admit that you lied.
If you keep that's something
especially I can't do. If you're a bad liar and everyone can tell that you're lying.
Like, don't. Yeah.
That's the other thing is, like, there are people, a few specific people that I know lie all the time. And one of them specifically is when I'm looking at them and they're lying to me, in my head I'm like, they're lying. You're so bad at lying.
This isn't true at all.
No. Like, you're just so bad at lying. You should stop doing it. Or get better at it at least. Like,
yeah.
I
actually love when I know I'm being lied to.
It makes me, I
love it.
And I think I'm a little bit sick in the brain for this. I love it because I'm sitting there and I'm like, you think I'm an idiot. You think that I don't know.
Have you ever been in a situation where you know somebody's lying and you've pushed them to lie more? Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Where you're like,
so I'm like, I want to know how far this story will go.
This blah 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 blah, and they're like, yeah, and then and I'm like, oh, that's interesting because you're literally lying, and I just pushed you, and now you're lying more.
And you're lying more.
And you think I'm just buying into
I'm so stupid.
Everything. You think I really don't think that this is a lie at all. You think I'm locked into your story. That's so wrong.
That's not.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel excited when that happens, which is, like, honestly kind of sick in that. Like,
no, it's not.
I don't know why. It just makes me like, tell me more about that.
Yeah, tell me what did happen.
Yeah. Wait, who
when
was
you
there?
were at a place that you
What
weren't?
happened? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also think, like, I've been in a situation where somebody's lied and then I've chosen to, like, move forward with the information I was given, and then later on found out that my actions had caused a problem because I was told something
I had
that
false
wasn't
information.
True.
Yeah.
So then I moved forward. Then I felt like an asshole, and it wasn't It had nothing to do with what I was
like,
doing,
well,
because
I did this because they told me
that was fine.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad, and I'm in an awful situation
Mhm.
because I didn't know the full truth to begin with.
And I thought that I
And
did.
I hate that.
I hate it.
So then I'm like, you put me in a bad position, and,
And now I look like an
me,
asshole.
and now it does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Grr.
I don't know. I think
it's also interesting when you're in a group setting. This is just like the audacity and the balls of these people. When you're in a group setting and someone is telling a story about something that you were there for and none of the other people were there for, and they're just completely lying, and you're like, should I
like interject
and tell them that they're lying and be like, that's not what happened
at all?
Or do I just let all these people think that this is the truth? I don't.
Well, dude, that happened one time with Bradley before we graduated. We were all at this dinner with like our whole group of people, and someone started telling a story that he was apparently included in, and he literally looked directly at that person and said, that didn't happen. And everybody was like, what? And he's like, that didn't happen. This isn't true.
Honestly.
And they just kind of froze, and he's like, dude, that's not true at all.
Bradley is an old bullshit kind of guy. Like, why would you even attempt to tell a story that's not real
in front of him? So fed up. Like, shut up.
Like, stop.
That's not true.
And then it's kind of funny to look around and watch everyone's faces just like, oh,
also,
shit.
When somebody's a bullshitter and everybody knows they're a bullshitter, everybody already knew she was lying anyways.
Yeah. So it's like, well, he just
but he
put
was
the nail on
not having it. It's so funny. Like, so funny. It
is kind of cringe, but also just like interesting to watch when people are having interactions like that, and you're just like, I'm so happy that's not me, but also like, this is wild that this is happening in front of us.
I also think it takes a different type of person. There is lying to somebody that has asked you a question and you lie. Okay. There's going out of your way in a group setting to publicly make up a whole story. You're insane. I'm so sorry.
Like, you are sick in the head.
Why are you so like, the attention seeking is like, you need to calm down
to the max.
Like, also people can see through it.
Yeah.
People can see through it. If you want attention that bad, just like
do something that causes people
true, maybe that people will like. People will actually like you. Don't make up all these lies and stories that people know are fake and then expect people to be like, oh my god, blah 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 blah.
And like, no one believes
everybody
you.
knows. Like, it's kind of embarrassing, honestly.
It's fully embarrassing.
Like,
you're just sitting there and you're like,
this person's,
you wonder why no one wants to be your friend. Because you're bonkers. Like, what?
Oh, lying.
I know.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Actually, it's a question for you to answer for the people, because I already know how you feel, but I want to hear what you have to say about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yesterday when we were at Tahoe, I looked up as I'm basking in the sun. Okay.
As one does.
And I see this group of like probably late middle, early high school girls. Mm-hmm. There's only like 3 of them, but they're walking by and they're completely done. Makeup, their hair's curled, like, and they look super cute. Mm-hmm. Like, but I was just sitting there like, so like,
and you floated up out of your body and saw your wet rat hair
and naked face. With my no makeup, and I showed up in a big t-shirt and my Birks, and I'm like doing a beach day as one does. And I was
that's
just
what I would do,
thinking about all the different experiences I've had, and I'm like, just thinking about me and how I show up to things and what I look like. And I just, do you think you are somebody who is more put together, or do you think you are somebody who is more about comfort and just being you?
This The only time I wear makeup is to podcast. And I truly like getting ready and like feeling cute, and I do feel like, you know, an extra layer of attractiveness or prettiness or like just good about myself when I do get done up. But I don't do it often, and like my baseline is like, especially like in the summertime specifically, my baseline is like sweat shorts, a small tank, Jesus sandals, and my hair probably is wet from either the shower, a pool, or the lake. And like that's just what I look like.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same situation, but I just feel like it's funny how sometimes you'll like get a message from somebody or you get invited to something and you're like, oh, well, they're going, so I have to
now
like
I have to like
put real clothes on.
Yeah, and like put on mascara and like get ready.
Like, oh, okay, so that's the vibe we're going for. And it's interesting to get to know people because I feel like the more you get to know people, the more relaxed you get as you meet them.
Yeah.
Like, as time goes on, or you find out that they really are not that way and they are done up at every single possible.
And every time you know you're gonna see them, you know you're gonna show up looking like your best self.
I also think it's taken me a really long time to not care. I think I like to fit the vibe of like the overall.
Yeah, I don't want to go to lunch with all of my friends and not get the memo that we're like being cute and show up like I just described, because that has happened, and I'm like, okay, well, I look like I just like walked off the street, and you guys all look like Sunday brunch cute, and
Yeah, I hate that feeling. But I also, at some point, like if you are somebody that put yourself together all the time, I'm not gonna match you. Like I'm just, especially like
because I want to show up like me.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't get ready for the movie.
No, I put on leggings and a sweatshirt. I bring a blanket, and like I'm ready to watch a movie.
Like I'm watching a movie. Why do I need to get ready?
It's dark.
Nobody cares.
Nobody can see you.
Yeah. I'm like, the older I get, the more I'm like, I think I'm just a comfort gal.
And I'm just more comfortable being me.
Yeah. But it was interesting to watch them walk by and be like, you curled your hair
to come to the beach.
Which I also am guilty of doing.
I've done. Yeah.
I've done it.
Or I've curled my hair the day before and I show up to the beach the next day and my hair's still like a little bit curly. And I'm like, I like that I look cute here, but I'm gonna go in the lake.
Yeah. That's another thing. Have you seen the video of the girls?
It's like, don't take the girl to the pool on your first date.
Oh no, mine was a lake one, and it's literally a quote of girls saying, well, we can't get our hair wet or whatever, and then it says us, and it's two girls like us running and like spiral jumping and landing like head first in the lake. I'm like, that's me. Like I'm gonna go.
Well, can you imagine if we went to the lake and I was like, I'm not gonna get in? You'd be like, why? What? Are you sick?
Why are we here?
Why did we bring this paddleboard then? We're not going to go in the lake. Like,
what do you mean?
We came here to have fun, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, when did that change in me?
I don't know. One of my favorite things about my best friend from high school, and we still do it to this day, is if we're going to go anywhere, one of us will text the other one and be like, just so you know, I'm really ugly today. And then I know that I can just show up and be ugly. I don't have to worry about it. Or it'll be like I'm coming straight from work. Like I'm ready, you know, so just so you know. And it's my favorite time every time we were hanging out, which was every day all the time, just getting the I'm ugly today text, because I was like, wow, okay, good. I don't have to do anything. Also, it's just a funny thing to open your phone to and like
be like, me too.
Me too.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna be good. Oh, that's funny.
But I think that's the same with me and you. Like, if we're not like going out, we are on the same vibe.
There's never a reason to get ready.
No.
If you're coming over to hang out,
I'm not
I
gonna
hope
put on-
you show up with fucking sweats and no makeup.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna walk in the bathroom and grab a makeup wipe and hand it to you so you can take your makeup off.
Because I don't want to have it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe I'm trying to go with.
Yeah, I want everyone to be comfy and just be them and like just chill.
The Christmas glow. Guys, okay.
Yeah, you have to tell them.
I know. So one night, and I can't even remember what we were doing.
We were watching a movie, I think.
And we had just decorated for Christmas. This was in
A
our new
massive
apartment.
tree.
Yeah. Massive
Like
Christmas tree.
massive big.
And I look over onto the other couch, and I don't know why I was in my feels or something. I was like,
when it was like the one couch and then the Christmas tree and then the other couch. So like our heads were like closest to the tree and each other.
Yeah, but I just feel like I feel like we don't spend like a ton of time together, not in group settings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like a lot of it is very like group
oriented.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time I get to like do something with you without a group, it's so fun. And I just remember looking up and I was like, oh, like so excited that you were there. And I was like, she looks so fucking pretty right now. And she literally just had like Christmas lights glowing on her. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have a Christmas glow. And she was like, what? And I was like,
She goes,
you have a Christmas
glow.
glow.
And I swear to you, her eyes started watering. And I was like, that's the nicest thing you've ever said. Thank you.
And she was, as she would say, ugly.
Ugly.
So I think that's all a lie. It's all a lie. Who cares if you put together or not?
Well, and it's funny also because like we are I would say 95% of the time we are very sweet to each other. Like we don't ever like really like jokingly even like insult each other or like whatever. But also that doesn't mean like I'll walk in and be like, oh, you look really pretty today. But like we're not overly sweet either.
Yeah.
So for me to just be watching a movie and you be like, you have a Christmas glow. I was like, what?
What are you talking about?
And then
I
I was
just glowing right now. And she was like, okay.
well, I know you love Christmas too. So I was like, she really thinks I look cute.
Oh gosh. I'm just happy that I know that I could show up and look like a drowned rat and you wouldn't like say anything about it.
No.
Because there's some people that I'm like, I know she's judging me.
That's the thing is like you could however you show up, I'm gonna be like, there's Abby. Like I'm not gonna be like, wow, she looks rough today.
Like it's just
like she's
yeah.
just here.
Yeah, no. There's some I really do. They might not outwardly say that.
No.
But they're thinking it.
Also, I want people to know what I look like.
Yes. Not me all the time.
I don't want me to show up with I heard you and went with it and then I was like, wait, what did she just say?
That made no sense at all. I mean, I want people to know how I look and I don't want me all the time to be done up because
Yes.
that's not me all the time.
And if I show up without makeup and you don't recognize me, like that's a problem. I want you to know what I look like.
Dude, I literally cut that thought into 3 words. Like 3 whole words. It's like you had like a whole paragraph.
You had
to
a sentence to say and you just chose the 3 words that, by the way, probably weren't the ones you should have picked.
No.
I don't even remember what you said.
I was like,
they're like, wait a second, that's not right.
that makes no sense at all. It's fine.
Sorry, everyone.
We're losing it over here where I am.
I am right there with you, sister.
Oh, but anyways, I'm really happy that I can show up with you and look awful and I never have to worry that you're like looking at me like I look awful.
Like you just said, I never look at you and like, wow.
Like,
rough morning.
You literally don't care.
I don't
though.
care.
No. And I like that I feel that way too. So
I think we're also, because of festivals specifically, I have seen you and
like,
you have seen me. Like in the depths of hell. Like when you get home to your Airbnb or your hotel from a festival and you flick on the light in the bathroom and you look in the mirror
And
and
you're like,
like
sometimes it's like I want to, like I jump, like
yeah,
I'm like,
'cause I'm like,
and I've
who
been
is that?
headbanging and I have my braids, but all the hairs like sticking up,
and these pieces are like stuck to your head with sweat, and there's glitter. It started like right here, and now it's just like
down
all
your
over your
face.
face, and there's mascara, and you have like only one eye has eyeshadow.
No, I do think that has helped.
And you just look in the mirror and you're like, I look crazy. And then you look over at your friend who looks just as like, whoa.
Yes. But
that builds some appreciation.
Yeah. I also think that, and we have talked about this, and I think this is something that I don't know if all girls feel this way.
Mm.
Actually, I think many probably don't, but just because of how makeup is and how people wear makeup and choose to use it and whatever. But I personally feel like a moment when I feel my prettiest, I never have makeup on. And it's like, I think it's because I know that it's me.
Yeah.
So if I'm having a day where I feel that way, it's like I don't want to put makeup on. No. And I think some people really disagree with that. Like I think
because sometimes I put makeup on and I look worse than I did. And I'm like, I just wasted so much time and I don't feel any prettier. In fact, I wish I didn't put this on
at all. Yeah. But I don't know if that's like the normal thing. And like I said, I know that we have had that conversation, but I think I like knowing that it's me. With
and I didn't have to do anything.
And then sometimes I look at myself and go, if you don't put makeup on your face,
you look like you have something going on.
Like a little pick me up, just like a little
dash of something. Well, that's what I was thinking about back to the festival thing on the way home from Beyond. I looked pretty rough. For the person who was driving us looked over at me. I'll never forget. He looks over at me and he's like, I've never seen you look this way before.
And you're like,
and I pulled down the visor and looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa.
And you're like, that was the nicest way for you to tell me that I look bad.
And I wasn't even mad because of how he said it, where he was like, I've just never seen you look this way before.
You're like, you mean ugly?
You mean like I
cracked out?
Because
I didn't have any sleep.
We just went through a traumatic event.
And we were camping.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I haven't showered. My bad.
My fucking bad. You should see you. It's hilarious. I'll never forget that moment.
That is
I remember turning around and being like, do you have any makeup wipes? And you're like, yeah, here. And I cleaned off my face and then looked in the mirror again and I was like, wow, that helped a lot. That was necessary.
Yeah. What a time.
Well, and like, so in the summertime, like August, when I'm my tannest, my teeth are the whitest and I have my freckles and like I look in the mirror and I'm just like, wow, look at me. I like her. She's cute.
And then you wake up January 5th and you look in the mirror and you're like, ugh.
Dude, I'm telling you
that ghost?
actually, and you can see like the veins in your like
I look ill.
I look literally like I should go to the hospital. Like I look really sick.
Yeah, no, it really is.
And your acne just pokes out more, and like it's just like you said, when you look in the mirror in the dead of winter, you're like,
okay,
wow. We should take these mirrors down for a couple months.
I try this again.
My mental health is not okay with viewing this and knowing that I have to go out in the world being this goblin that just rose.
I think it's having color is everything.
That's the thing.
But also just being the most me. I think maybe that's because I feel the most me when I'm tan.
What? Well, yeah, I feel that 100%. What outfit or like style or things do you think make you feel the most like yourself? I think it's hard because you're gonna say black. I think it's hard because I wake up and sometimes I'm like, I feel like a little hippie today, and then sometimes I'm like, I should wear leather. Like it's different every day. So I don't even know if I have an answer to my own question, but do you have?
Well, I interpreted the question as what is my like go-to. Which I think we did this earlier for each other at one point.
I think we did when we did the
For
cards.
yeah,
And it was like,
for
how do
each
you
other.
view, or what would she wear on a first
wear?
date or
Yeah.
something?
Which I think a date is different.
Mhm.
I think my go-to is a big t-shirt and shorts.
Mhm.
Like I'm thinking summer me. And
Yeah.
if it's not, it's a big t-shirt and jeans. And if I'm wearing pants, I'm wearing docs. Actually, I might be wearing docs with shorts too.
Yeah.
That or sandals. Like I'm pretty basic. Like I'm a basics gal. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just like my most comfy. I don't have to think about anything. Like I just put it on and I'm good to go.
And you're good to go.
I don't like when I have to think about my outfit.
No.
Like throughout the day.
I think my outfit that makes the most sense to me and is just like a thing that I put on and I'm like, yeah, this is like HB, is when I have fun pants on and like a small plain shirt.
Yeah.
I just like fun pants.
I do feel like you're a fun pants
Fun
gal.
knickerbockers.
We should start calling them our knickers.
Can you get my knickers out of the dryer, please?
What do your knickers look like today? Are they patterned? Do you got stripes on?
I hope. I was just going to ask you something else and I completely forgot. Maybe that's it.
That might be it. We might be done.
I think that's all we have today, folks.
That's okay. We have things to do.
We do. The UV is an 8.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to Out to Lunch.
We are so grateful that you come and listen to all of our episodes.
If you are still listening and you love it very much, share it with a buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.